Hi all, congratulations on exam 2. Most of you received good grades. Today we begin studying chapter 7 of Baronet's logic. Chapter 7 is about propositional logic. Today we will discuss logical operators and how to translate ordinary language sentences into propositional logic. Propositional logic is part of formal logic. The basic components in propositional logic are statements. What is a simple statement? One does not have any other statement or logical operator as a component. Here are some examples. Harrisburg is the capital of Pennsylvania. Grilled hamburgers taste delicious. Detective novels make great movies. Now, what is a compound statement? It is a statement that has at least one simple statement and at least one logical operator as component. Here are some examples. It is not the case that drinking hot coffee reduces sweating. Hamlet is a tragedy and Kung Fu Panda is a comedy. Either we reduce carbon emissions or global warming will get worse. If the IRS processed my return, then I should get my refund this week. You will graduate if and only if you meet all university requirements. These compound statements can be represented by using uppercase letters to stand for the simple statement. It is not the case that D stands for drinking hot coffee reduces sweating. H and K, H stands for Hamlet is a tragedy, and K stands for Kung Fu Panda is a comedy. Either C or G. C stands for we reduce carbon emissions, and G stands for global warming will get worse. If I, then R. I stands for the IRS processed my return, or I should get my refund this week. G, if and only if you. G, you will graduate. U stands for you meet all university requirements. Now, what are logical operators? Logical operators are special symbols that can be used as part of ordinary language statement translations. In propositional logic, we have 5 logical operators. The first one is the tilde. It is a negation, used to translate expressions such as it is not the case that or other negations. The second one is the dot. It is a conjunction, used to translate expressions such as and, also, moreover. The third one is the which. It is a disjunction. It is used to translate or, unless, and other disjunctions. The fourth one is the horseshoe. It is a conditional. It is used to translate if then, only if. And the fifth one is a triple bar. It is a biconditional, used to translate if and only if. Now, remember the statements that we use as examples of compound statements. We can now use the operators to translate our 5 examples of compound statements. The first one will be translated as tilde din. D stands for drinking hot coffee reduces sweating. The second one is translated as H.K. H stands for Hamlet is a tragedy, and K stands for Kung Fu Panda is a comedy. The third one is translated as C, which, G. The fourth one is translated as I, being I stands for the IRS processed my return, the horseshoe, and then R. R stands for I should get my refund this week. The fifth one, G, biconditional U. G stands for you will graduate, and U stands for you meet all university requirements. Now let's study each one of the logical operators. Let's begin with the negation. The tilde symbol is used to translate any ordinary language negated proposition. Some of the words and phrases that you might find in ordinary language statements are not, it is not the case that, it is false that, and it is not true that. For example, the statement today is not Monday is the negation of the simple statement today is Monday. The word not and the phrase it is not the case that are used to unite the statement that follows them, and we refer to their use as negation. Here are some examples of English statements and their translations. Barack Obama is not a member of the Republican Party. We translate it as tilde B. B stands for Barack Obama is a member of the Republican Party. It is false that gold is currently selling at $1,000 an ounce. Tilde G. G here stands for gold is currently selling at $1,000 an ounce. It is not the case that home foreclosures have peaked. Tilde H. H stands here for home foreclosures have peaked. As the examples illustrate, the tilde is positioned directly in front of the proposition that it negates. The second logical operator is conjunction. The dot symbol is used to translate propositions in ordinary language that use any of the following words: and, both and, but, still, moreover, while, however, also, moreover, although, yet, nevertheless, and whereas. Observe that the connectors of contrast, such as however, although, yet, and nevertheless, are translated in propositional logic as a conjunction. A conjunction is a compound statement that has two distinct statements, called conjuncts, connected by the dot symbol. Here are some examples of English statements and their translations. Facebook is selling a stock, and Twitter is a global phenomenon. This is translated as F.T. F stands for Facebook is selling a stock, and T stands for Twitter is a global phenomenon. Music videos are dying out, and cloud computing is growing. M stands for music videos are dying out, and C stands for cloud computing is growing. Honesty is the best policy, and lying is for scoundrels. H stands for honesty is the best policy, and L stands for lying is for scoundrels. The third logical operator is disjunction. The wedge symbol is used to translate ordinary language statements containing the words or, otherwise, and the phrase either or. In addition, the word unless sometimes functions like the word or. For example, the statement, you cannot go to the party unless you clean your room, can be rewritten as either you clean your room or you cannot go to the party. A disjunction is a compound statement that has two distinct statements, called disjuncts, connected by the wedge symbol. Here are some examples of English statements and their translations. You can have steak or chicken. S stands for you can have a steak, and C stands for you can have chicken. She's either a Pisces or a Scorpio. P stands for she is a Pisces, and S stands for she is a Scorpio. Paris is the city of lights, or Big Ben is in London. P stands for Paris is the city of lights, and B stands for Big Ben is in London. Unless it rains today, we will go swimming. R stands for it rains today. S stands for we will go swimming. The fourth logical operator is the conditional. The horseshoe symbol is used to translate a conditional statement. For example, the ordinary language statement, if you smoke packs of cigarettes a day, then you have a high risk of getting lung cancer. Can be translated as S horseshoe L. The statement that follows the if is the antecedent, and the statement that follows the then is the consequent. Therefore, whatever phrase follows if must be placed first in the translation. Here are two examples to illustrate this point. If you wash the car, then you can go to the movies. W stands for you wash the car. That is the antecedent. M stands for you can go to the movies. That is the consequent. Now, let's express this sentence in another order. You can go to the movies if you wash the car. W continues to be you wash the car, and in propositional logic we're going to write it first before the horseshoe, and M continues to stands for you can go to the movies, and continues to be the consequent, despite in ordinary language we write it first. In propositional logic it is going to be after the horseshoe. The last logical operator is the biconditional. The triple bar symbol is used to translate a biconditional statement. For example, the ordinary language statement, you will get ice cream if and only if you eat your spinach, can be translated as S triple bar symbol I. This compound statement is made up of two conditionals. One is indicated by the word if and the other by the phrase only if. We can reveal the two conditionals as follows. If you eat your spinach, then you get ice cream, and you get ice cream only if you eat your spinach. Notice that this compound statement is a conjunction. However, both components of the conjunction are conditionals. The first component can be translated as S horseshoe I. The second component can be translated as I horseshoe S. The complete translation of this compound statement can now be given. S horseshoe I dot I horseshoe S. The triple bar reduces the complexity and expresses the conjunction of these two conditionals as just the following statement. S triple bar symbol I. This is a summary of what we learned today. The operators and the ordinary language expressions or words that they translate. The operator tilde translates the words and phrases. Not, it is not the case that, it is false that, it is not true that. The dot translates the words and phrases in ordinary language, and, but, still, moreover, while, however, also, moreover, although, yet, nevertheless, whereas. The wedge translates the words and phrases in ordinary language, or unless otherwise either or. The horseshoe translates the words and phrases in ordinary language if, only if, every time, given that, each time, provided that, all cases where, in any case where, any time, supposing that, in the event of, on any occurrence of, on condition that, for every instance of. And finally, the triple bar symbol translates the phrase in ordinary language if and only if. Remember to complete the following exercises and submit your answers on Brightspace by tonight at midnight. The exercises 8, 16, 24, 32, and 44 of exercises 7A1, exercises 8 and 16 of exercises 7A2, and exercises 8 and 16 of exercises 7A3. Have a good rest of the day.